Welcome back, and as promised, I'm going to go over flags, how to make a flag. First thing I'm going to do, just on my little example map here, I'm just going to make a little connector between these two ramps. So I'm going to click on these, clicking right here, enter. Steal this texture. Now that texture's selected here. Make that. Okay. Now, similar to how we did with the entities over here, these spawn points, I'm going to hit the entity tool. I'm going to go over here on the objects, and I'm going to go down and select. Let's just search for it. DOD. And oh, what do you know? Control point. DOD control point. You're going to need that. Paste that where you want your flag, and there you go, you have a flag. Within it, if we double click on it, there's a whole bunch of different properties we can change. First thing that's pretty important to do, we got to add a name to it. I'm just going to call it flag 1. I'm going to hit apply, and under here, localized name to print on the HUD. This is basically what it's going to say in game when somebody captures it, like so and so captured the bridge or whatever. I'm just going to call it ramps. You can add the amount of points they get, which is this system. Nobody really uses this system, so I just leave it alone. You can control the. You can change the default owner. Right now, it's set to neither, so nobody owns this by default. I'm going to set it to allies just for now. You could change the sound it makes when somebody captures it, like area secure, that kind of thing. However, for some reason I can't get this to work properly since the Palermo update, so yeah, it's not necessary, but there are ways around it. I could show you later. Index of this point, just change it to 1, or it needs to be unique for every single flag, otherwise nothing works. Yeah. Okay, down here you could change what the icon looks like in the HUD. Like by default, it has like the axis cross and the allies star. If you want to change that, you just select on. Let's say it's changed the. Oh, you can also change the neutral one. I forgot. But anyways, let's say if we want to change the axis. Well, like when the axis owns it, it looks like this. Okay, let's go to browse. OBG, which is short for objective. Let me go down. As you can see, I have a whole bunch in here that are custom. I have a whole bunch in here that you guys typically won't have, but anyways, let me scroll down. Let's change it to a bridge, axis bridge. Here we go. Hit apply. I'm going to do the same thing for allies. I'm going to change it to the green bridge right here. Apply, and there you go. Now we got to make a control area. What the control area does is basically it sets up basically the area you got to stand in order to cap the flag. I think you can use any texture, but it's safe just to use trigger. I'm going to go ahead over here and click and drag a little box around my flag. And there, I got a little area that, so once somebody stands in it, they're going to start triggering the capture. However, we got to actually turn it into the entity. So once you have that selected, go to to entity up in the corner. And by default, it has to detail, or like function detail. We don't want that. Just search DOD capture area. Hit apply, and from here you can set who can cap it, how many people it takes to capture it. By default, it's set to 1, and the default time is 5. You can change it to whatever. Now, let's say if you wanted like an instant capture, like in a map like Flash or something, you just change it to something small, like 0.3 or 0.2 seconds or whatever. And the most important thing you got to do before you exit out of this is you got to link it to the right control point. Now, yeah, so basically, once somebody stands within this area, it starts the process of capturing this flag right here. So I'm gonna, since you've named this flag 1, we're gonna go over here and select flag 1, apply, and there you go. There's 1 flag so far. And I am going to quickly make another flag. I'm just gonna copy and paste this guy here. I'm just gonna, I guess I'll make the area smaller. Let's take 4 seconds. Oh, we also gotta name this guy. I forgot to name him. Let's name him Flag 2. I'm gonna call it ground, so on, yeah, whatever. Default owner access. I'm not gonna change any of that garbage. Oh, I gotta make this unique thing number 2. Link, now I'm gonna have to link this to flag 2. Let's change this to, I don't know how many seconds. Yeah, I already changed it, didn't I? Yeah, 2. Okay, whatever. And to actually get your flags to work in-game, you gotta add something called DOD Control Point Master. Anywhere, it doesn't matter where you place it in your map. You can, in it, you can change. This basically gets the flags to work in-game. But in it, there's just several options. You can set a timer. So, like, let's say, like in a map like Jagged or something, once the timer expires, you could set it so a certain team wins. Like after 300 seconds, you know, neither team wins. Or, you know, you could tell to use the timer or don't use the timer. As you can see here, you could set, you know, which team wins after 300 seconds. I'm not going to play around with that because I don't really need that. Another important thing, well, it's not that important, but search info, DOD Detect. You can also place this anywhere. This controls the respawn rate. I think the default, the respawn rate is controlled by the server, and I think the default respawn rate is 15. And what this does, this number basically takes the respawn rate, times it by whatever value is here. So 15 times 1 is 15, so it basically stays the same. So if you want, you could change it so like one team spawns more frequently than the other. Like I'll change this guy to 2. So 2 times 15 is 30, and let's change it to like 0.3 or whatever. So these guys spawn every, I think, if my math is right, 5 seconds, I guess, because it's a third of, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you can also change the sound effect it makes when you capture, like if you're going on a beach or something like Anzio, you know, run off the beach, man, no, blah blah blah. Yeah, you get different sounds when they begin it off. Yeah, that's about all I have to show right now.